Yeah, so my research is about the role of top-down and bottom-up listening strategies in improving Moroccan university students' listening comprehension and language skills. So two groups of students, a control and an experimental belonging to the same year and field, took part in the study. Both groups were exposed to a pre-listening and a post-listening test. Students in the experimental group, however, were explicitly exposed to listening strategies for all stages of the listening tasks. The study adopted a combination of both a qualitative and a quantitative approach using t-test. So related to the findings of the study, so preliminary findings reveal that the use of listening strategies has significantly proved effective in helping students in the experimental group to develop their listening comprehension, especially for specific information and language production, which was more meaningful and effective than that of the control group. So that's in a nutshell, yeah. Yeah, obviously, I have encountered a number of challenges in my research journey, especially related to research methodology, as all researchers know. For instance, in qualitative research, when you have a purposive sampling, it takes time to find participants participants that satisfy the criteria of your research, and you may have a limited number of participants who may not be available all the time or whenever you need them. So you are likely to lose some of your participants, which may affect the data and eventually the results of your study. For quantitative research, even if you may have choose your participants randomly and you collect your data smoothly, you need to master the research instruments to use for the analysis of your data. My motivation behind any research in the field of education is to try and sort out learning and teaching related issues on a regular basis. Of course, to make my teaching and students' learning enjoyable and effective through doing lots of readings on those issues, attending conferences and workshops, and participating actively, of course, in the conferences and workshops to exchange practical ideas and implement them in the real classroom context. Well, for this study in particular, on many occasions, I have observed that students were struggling to understand spoken English because, although they spend time listening to the teacher, their fellow students, and recordings, they are rarely exposed to listening strategies which can help them become more effective and efficient listeners. So my motivation behind the study was to find out how much progress students could make in their listening comprehension and language skills after implementing the top-down and bottom-up listening strategies. I will tell them, first of all, choose the topic of research very carefully, which is, in my opinion, the first key to success in your research journey. It should be interesting to you, as you will be spending a long time on the research. Okay? So the next step is to find a theoretical framework that can support the topic of research and make your ideas and findings have a sense from a scientific research perspective. Attending supervisors' meetings can be very helpful for you to choose the right research methodology, which is another important area that is worth exploring. In other words, after having chosen the topic, you need to choose the right methodology that can help you carry out your research in a smooth and organized way. Well, I believe wholeheartedly that the right research methodology can help you to move forward in your research. So you need to be clear whether you would like to adopt a qualitative approach. So you may need to have like focus groups or conduct interviews. If your research is quantitative, you may need to use questionnaires, surveys, or tests, and be clear about the research instrument that you will be using to analyze your data. You can also choose to adopt a mixed method, making use of both qualitative and quantitative research instruments to make up for the limitations of each approach. And last but not least, conduct a pilot study and ask for feedback from other researchers and your supervisors before you embark on the study. Yeah, well, the conference was enriching, was fruitful and insightful. The coordinators of the conference were very helpful, and also, I mean, it was an opportunity for researchers to discuss and exchange ideas, experiences, and practices in the field of education, learning, and teaching. So, I mean, all the participants were willing to explain concepts and application of research tools in their study, which, of course, I mean, inspired us for future research.